everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin, your number one podcast for Max's show, The Pit, where we discuss everything in depth about each episode of The Pit. I'm joined by Rocky Hardy.
Yeah, that's me.
And I'm joined by Tegan Somerset.
I'm live from The Pit.
Whoa, you're in Pittsburgh as we speak.
Yeah.
Nice.
I currently reside in the Cathedral of Knowledge.
Did I ever tell you that I broke into the Cathedral of Knowledge one time?
No.
I did that.
Why? Why'd you have to break in?
Because it was after hours and it was closed.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, so.
I took a test in the Cathedral of Knowledge.
Whoa.
I got the best score I've ever gotten on that test. So I would recommend 10 out of 10 would recommend taking the test in the Cathedral of Knowledge.
What was the test for?
It was the ACT.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Which reminds me of this time that I took the SAT. When I took the SAT, I did so at Charlottesville High School. And I was like, boy, man, the test had not yet started. You know, the proctor had not yet distributed anything. And I knew what room I was supposed to go to take the test. But I was, like, nervous, and I was, like, pacing. And I was like, man, maybe let me go check out CHS's library and see what that's like. So I went in CHS's library. I was like, oh, man, sure do like their library. Let me go out in their courtyard and get some fresh air. At which point I pressed the door open the courtyard. At which point the fire alarm went off.
Amazing!
And they had to evacuate the school. And it delayed the start of the SAT by a good 30 minutes. And boy howdy, have you ever tried to take the SAT while everybody else in the SAT is looking at you like a son of a bitch because they started later? And this is ruining all of their Saturday plans.
I hear that.
Imagine making Saturday plans the day you have to take the SAT.
What? You're supposed to, because like you celebrate the end of your preparation, and then you get to decompress.
I think that like the type of people comfortable making Saturday plans the day of the SAT are either end of the bell curve of performance on the SAT.
I guess that's one way of looking at it. I hear what you're saying.
Okay, so I had signed up for the SAT, and I had signed up actually for 2 SATs. So it was not. It was the end of my practice period. Taking the first SAT, and then I had to take a second SAT.
I hear that. I did PSATs and SAT. But like once I took the SAT, like I did like do like I did a nice lunch after, and then I finished out for the rest of the day, and then I waited like the 3 months until I actually got my score back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where I took it, mostly because I'm pretty sure it was the first time I actually had a panic attack. But like,
that's right. Good reason to have a panic attack. Not gonna lie.
I did well on the test anyway, so it shook out. I guess it's fine. Yeah, no, I think that's it. That's all I had for my SAT. I prepped for it. The prep was definitely the bigger deal. Like I prepped for it like basically like every morning for like the 2 years before I took it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I had a sudden gap in my mornings. I forgot what I filled it with.
We took the SATs very differently. I had a book and I kind of worked on it sometimes on weekends, and then I took the SAT. But the ACT I like studied for.
I realized I can't really study like that. Like I have to, mostly because like if I get the book, I never remember to open the book. And so like what I did like SAT questions of the day. So like my morning checking my email included an SAT question that I would do every day.
That's smart. See, that's a better way to do it. I mean, get the book. The book's helpful, I think, but like that is better than the book. Because I was just looking at the book like, I know all this stuff. I did it in school. Like, I don't want to have to do it again. And then my morning for the SAT, my dad got me up really early. We drove to the local Krispy Kreme. We bought 24 donuts. I ate literally as many donuts as I could without throwing up. And then I went and took the test.
What? You did that before the test? All right, that's fine. That's your business.
My dad said you have to buy a box of donuts and you have to like a dozen at least, and you have to eat as many donuts as you can because your brain needs that sugar.
It's like the equivalent of like
protein, sugar.
It's like the equivalent of like, before you take a test, you gotta, drink a Red Bull and eat a Snickers, and like,
and then you're fine, right? Yeah, my dad was like, before my pilot exam, what I did was I drove to Michigan. I bought a box of donuts. I ate donuts in the hotel I rented all night until the morning of, cramming for this test, and then I took the test and I passed, so it was fine. And I was just like, okay, that's what I'll do then.
Hell yeah,
it worked for my dad, so
yeah, makes sense to me. Brian, what's your pre-test ritual?
Well, it used to be like drills.
Sure.
Like
the kind that pierce the heavens.
Yeah,
so you're like, what is the atomic weight of plutonium? And then I would be like, and I would have to answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is that? Is it 135? Hold on. No, wait. Atomic weight is like the double thing. That's like 2 something.
Yeah.
Plutonium. Atomic number 94. Atomic mass 244. Okay, for sure.
Right.
0.06. I don't know if they're gonna ding you on the 0.06. I don't remember anyone being that mean.
Do that kind of thing. At some point, some piece of me snapped inside and said, like, look, if I don't know 3 hours before the thing, no amount of somebody like reading off 3x5 cards at me is going to get me to know it 3 hours before the thing.
Yeah, I get that.
It is now like getting whatever kind of variable amount of sleep I am able to achieve.
Sure.
And then gauging how settled my stomach is.
Mm-hmm.
And if my tummy will allow me to eat food, then I will eat food. Based on like what I think I can eat without, doing the nervous retching. Tests are bad, man. Tests are bad.
Tests are not bad.
Tests I do want to say bad for people.
That's fair. I want to say for me personally, I've never been screaming, crying, throwing up about an exam.
Okay.
I get like stage fright style jitters, not like never screaming, crying, throwing up. Just like, woo, I hope I do good. Anyway, and then I just take the test.
See, that's another thing. Like, I've definitely been screaming, crying, throwing up about tests. Like, it doesn't come out. It's like tears on the inside of the cheek or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, I will definitely put my life on the line for a test. And that's just kind of how I've always been. It's worked out for me over the years.
Oh, okay. See, I never will. I either know it by the time of the test. I either know it or I don't. It's no use stressing over it. Bye. I get my 8 hours the night before. I eat a bunch of sugar in the morning, and then afterwards, and then I enter a fugue state. I take the test. I leave. I have no idea what happened. I find out like a week or 3 months later, whatever the period is, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. Anyway,
yeah, that's consistent with Tegan. Like, it's same way she plays Splatoon. Like my.
I have no idea what happens in a game.
Yeah, like my test taking like preparation and like, I guess like strategy has largely resembled boxing training. Maybe it's just because of my name. Maybe it's just the curse or whatever. But like it's very much you do a lot of conditioning and preparation, and then leading up to you're mostly focused on physical condition because like I'm leaning on like my training to carry me through the rest of the test, not like some grand inspiration in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the day of, like I perform or I don't, and that's just what it is. But sometimes that's scary, but the idea is that like the feeling of it isn't what's going to get me through the test. It's the preparation that I did beforehand.
Do you hit the meat?
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. You usually work your way up to it, but that's definitely one of the core competencies there.
Do you run up the steps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes people join in, and that's cool. But like most of the time, it's alone. You just got to be able to do it.
Do you have a Burgess Meredith who would offer to cut your temple if you had swelling above your eye?
Only on the good tests.
Okay.
I do want to, since I am like close to the floor at the moment, I did want to bring back to something we were talking about just before the show. We were talking about Craig, if they like, who's like the tool that we use to record. If they talked back to us one day, because we have to, say something to start the recording. It reminded me of a new development with Tinder, which is a thing that I obviously don't do anymore, but have like a sustained curiosity about. And it turns out one of the things that it's doing now is that it's using AI chatbots to kind of like test / train people in the art science of
Yeah.
flirting.
Oh God. Yes. No. I read about that and
Yeah.
To what? I'm sorry. To what? Huh?
This is gonna be so much fun. This is how this goes. It's just like I was like, yeah, I saw this thing, and Brian's like, oh yeah, I saw that shit, and Tegan's like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
What are you talking about? It's very much that was that Shadow and Rouge and Eggman. I'm Eggman in this moment. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
so
Here we go.
basically,
I'm gonna.
They,
Go ahead, Brian.
They've got 4 quadrants of users on Tinder. There is the uppermost quadrant, which are considered a valuable commodity. They're like, we gatekeep access to matches with these users.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like, oh yeah, oh no. And then there's users who are like, yeah, these people can, feed and dress themselves. They're just not valuable. Which, I guess feels bad enough.
Feels bad enough, yeah. But they're not going to stop there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but it gets worse, friendo. And then there's, they're like, you know what? You're not valuable, so we're going to only match you with other not valuable users. And then they segment those out into 2 different groups. Group 1, they're like, hey, look, would you like access to some training? And they tell them that they're going to offer them training that they can opt into, right? And then group 4 is they're like, oh, there is no hope for this fucker. And then they just... They start having you talk to a robot without telling you because it's within the terms of service. And so they just like slip you in a robot. They're like, yeah, talk to Jenny. She's fine. And you're like, yeah, Jenny. It turns out Jenny was never real because they were trying to make you acceptable.
Yeah,
like, yeah, we're gonna fucking My Fair Lady this shit. And they're like, no, we're not gonna send a robot into My Fair Lady anybody. Robots cannot My Fair Lady people. They can't. And also, My Fair Ladying people is a bad idea.
So whose responsibility is it to My Fair Lady the people?
People should My Fair Lady themselves.
Okay, that does not happen historically. Who's responsible for My Fair Ladying the people?
I don't think it's a responsibility that anyone actually has.
There we go.
Yes, because it is an assumption which is rooted in classism.
I mean, it's also like your family and your friends should be helping you like socialize. I like seeing those videos where they're like, it's like a guy tells his guy friends about how the date went, and he fucked up colossally somewhere along there, and all of his guy friends are roasting him for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Like that guy who let the girl walk to her car alone in the dark. Fucking idiot. Stupid man.
They cooked them
The date was going really well, but she wanted to walk. I let her walk to her car by herself. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? At least offer to walk her within visual distance. At least visual distance of the car. Hello? It's dangerous at night. Are you stupid? You don't have to accompany me the whole way. If you stop like a block away, but you can see me get into the car, that's fine. That's respectable. I'll allow, that's great.
So, okay.
Don't be a freak about it.
I want to now talk about Denzel Washington's first date with the woman that he married.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I'll get you a picture. It's fine.
Okay.
So Denzel Washington famously asked the woman he would end up marrying out on a date several times before she said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go on a date, right? And he pays for dinner, and I guess dinner went over what he estimated it would be.
Sure.
And so like they got done with dinner, and he's like, look, I've got no money left. At which point she had to pay for a cab to get her own ass home.
Oof.
Not great.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, like, if Denzel Washington went on a date with the woman that he has now been married to for 41 years for the first time now, and like people were like, "Lady, tell us about this guy," and she's like, "Well, he asked me out several times." They would go, "Whoa." And then, after we had dinner, he didn't have enough money afterwards, and I had to get a cab for myself home. They would then go double, and it would just I'm not sure how I feel about like this like kind of like weird subculture that has cropped up on social media of people like Monday morning quarterbacking dates.
It's not just social media. That is existed since like the dawn of time, Brian.
Some people need the help.
I saw a thing on Twitter and it made my head hurt.
Sure.
Well, first problem, you saw it on Twitter.
Okay.
Problem number one.
This thing that I saw is a thing that like exists in other places. It was a covertly recorded video.
Sure.
That someone was recording on their date because they wanted to record their date for purposes of embarrassing them on social media.
Okay.
And the date was asking about he was asking about her dog. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, you tell me more about your dog." And the text that the woman had put up on the video was, "He's way too interested about my dog," crying, laughing emoji.
Right.
And all the comments were like, "Oh yeah, that's right. If someone asks that many questions about your dog, then fuck them. They're a psychopath. There's bodies buried in their basement."
Right.
And I'm like, how did we get here?
Brent,
like,
okay.
He's like just fucking asking questions about your dog. Like, he could be nervous. He thinks he's being polite. He's expressing interest in some component of your life, and your reaction is to get out your phone and to record him and post the video and be like, "He's way too interested in my dog." Like, what the? Oof.
I mean, that sounds like a problem with her.
It is a problem with her. But it's a problem I'm going to say. But like, to be honest, Brian, there's been some backlash against that particular type of culture. Like, that's not the accepted norm. It's a thing that people are starting to poke fun at. But also, these people are mostly like, influencers that are just like, creating a toxic cycle for people to interact with on the internet, and like they're commenting on a situation that will never affect them in their real life. Like, they're just kind of like playing in a space with this person. It sucks that a real person, the guy that this person was on a date with, is like the butt of this joke, and hopefully it doesn't affect them in real life. But to be honest, like, I guess like what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to conventional wisdom about dating, there isn't really conventional wisdom. That's kind of how it is, right? Like, there are things that people like, should do, to be kinder to each other, generally speaking. But like, there isn't like a book that like everyone is following that people are referencing in like this new callous form of dating. People are just kind of fucking around. And like, the people who are loud about it tend to be monsters. It's kind of what it is.
I mean, I think the only advice I'd be comfortable giving somebody who's like, "Hey man, what should I do on this first date?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Before you go out, wash your ass, and while you're out, don't eat seafood." Like, just
it's
there you go. There it is. Done. Like,
sure, man.
Because people are different, and like vibes are different in a moment, and
sure.
What's gonna make Fred happy isn't going to make Mary happy, and they're just like people should be like responsive and intuitive and present and not like sitting there like mentally checking some fucking list. Like,
well, to be honest, Brandon, in my experience, a person is largely like that. People on social media just aren't, and
okay,
like, I think that's the difference.
I mean that is fair. Like the other one I saw that made me snap was like, person took a picture of a bouquet they received and said, "He bought me flowers on the first date," and it was just like 2,000 comments about how he must be the worst person in the world.
Sure,
it's like, what in the fuck is going on? What is this? He bought me flowers? Let's get the pitchforks?
Right, it's not isolated. That's what I mean. They're just people. They're people who are like playing in a space. They're collectively being monstrous in a way that hopefully doesn't actually hurt real people. And like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say let them rock. Like, I think they should be ridiculed. Like, these people aren't cool, and I don't want to hang out with them. But like, I know why they're there. I'm just gonna not.
Picture you're the guy. Picture you're the guy asking about the dog, right? He's like, "Oh, it's a golden doodle, right?" You're that guy, right? And you're just cruising Twitter one day, and you find a covertly taken video of yourself asking about the golden doodle. I would never go on a date again. I'd be like, well,
okay. See, that's what I mean. See, Brian, if you came to me with that story and that happened to you, that wouldn't be my advice. I'd be like, hey, man, this person is obviously someone you don't want to interact with, and that sucks. I'm sorry this happened to you. Don't let that dissuade you from dating in general, because not everyone's like this. Like, that's just a fact. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's just, this sucks and it hurts. And that's like a lot of like, I guess the kind of dating advice that people hear is that shitty stuff happens to you when you put yourself out there sometimes. That isn't a lesson to be learned to never put yourself out there. It's like, sometimes you got to protect your neck and sometimes you get hit, and that sucks. But don't give up on the rest of the world. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think that there's like, okay, so there's different kinds of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
There's the kind of hurt that comes from like people, entangling themselves and then discovering that they don't fit, and sure. There's like that kind of like that kind of like natural pain that where people go like, oh, I'm a square peg and you're a square peg, so neither one of us are holes. So what the fuck? Like there's the pain that comes from discovering incompatibility, or the pain that comes from growing apart.
Sure.
But all of these require at some point a level of what I'll call like sincere engagement.
Sure. Yeah.
But like there's a certain amount of like fundamental dehumanization that is like required to do shit like covertly record someone asking about your dog on the first date. Like, that's
fair. I hear that.
Yeah, like the other types of hurt that we're talking about, and like require the person to at some point have like seen you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just like, oh, okay, like this version is a vending machine, either for my desires or for content. One of the two.
Sure.
Like, oh, that's scary.
Yeah, no, I hear that. There isn't a follow-up to that. It's just scary. And they're out there. And they could hurt you. But, like, again, that's not representative of the field.
Is there a field?
Oh, yeah. Dating's PvP, Brian. Always has been.
Yeah. Likely always will be.
Yeah, probably. Actually, fuck.
Honestly, if I found out someone had taken a covert video of me on the date, I'd be like, hey, I get that wasn't what you're looking for. I'd appreciate if you took this down.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they didn't, I'd be like, okay, cool. Thanks for at least hearing me out. And then I'd just block them.
Yeah.
Move on. Oh, well. I tried, Hey, this hurts my feelings. Sorry that it wasn't a good connection for you. Will you take it down? No? Okay. Well, nothing I can do about that. Bye.
Well, depending on where you live and where the video was taken, there are a couple things.
That's true, but
That's
true. At least you tried first,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't immediately jump with like, "Hey, I'm gonna like take legal action if you don't fucking take this down." You can be like, "Hey, this, I'm sorry it didn't work out between the two of us. I'm sorry that you felt offended that I asked you about your dog. Clearly, this isn't gonna work out. So, like, will you just take it down?"
Right.
Like, it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like that means more than what that person did, because whatever that person did tells me more about them than what I am doing tells anyone about me.
Oh, right. I don't know. I think the reason I asked, like, is there a field ?
Okay.
Is that, like, I look at, like, systems which are designed to, like, at scale, match users with entities that desire them.
Okay.
And good examples of that are, like, dating apps and job apps.
Yes.
And it seems like both of them have the feedback of, like, I don't know, man, it just tells me I should work at State Farm. Like, that's all it does. It just shows me the same job at State Farm over and over again. And it's because, like, LinkedIn has decided, like, ain't nobody hiring you, so we're just going to show you the State Farm job.
I may hear that. I feel like in both of those situations, or I guess both of those applications is what I'd say. I feel like they were kind of asking the wrong questions, but also refusing to acknowledge that it's like not an exact science. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there is like a way to isolate someone's perfect jobs by a sequence of questions. Like I don't know if that's a reasonable goal that can be attained. But also, I feel like they're asking the wrong questions. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. And like, there's parts of it like there it's like related to like experience and things you have done before, and like even matching like experience to like need, like X proximity, X etc. gets trickier despite the fact that things have been more accessible than they've ever been. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like parts of them, like LinkedIn doesn't want to like really engage with like the kind of tools that they actually have to try to match a person to the job that they like, that fits their needs. Like, they're not providing a service to users. That's why you're able to sign up for free. At best, they're attempting to provide a service to like CEOs who are looking for talent, and even then, like, they're kind of just trying to bleed them dry at this point, from what I can tell.
Right? Yeah. Like, you can graduate to being a lower class of customer by being like, look, I'll pay for LinkedIn Premium, and they're like, okay, fine. Here, we will show you some jobs other than just like the same State Farm, listing over and over again. But like they're the bigger customers are like either going to be like large scale like data services that are like being like, hello, we build graphs, and so they're buying data from LinkedIn.
Man, the graph industry is up right now. Oh my god!
I want to put money in Big Graph, baby.
Yeah, right. I think Big Graph is going to quadruple their market share in the next 5 years. I know that. Where do I put the money?
I want to buy fucking Graph futures. Number go up on arrow going up.
Oh man!
Yeah, I want to buy Graph futures, but for number go down on Graph going down when Graph's supposed to be going up infinitely. That's what I want. Yep. I want maximum returns on minimal effort.
Okay,
that's shorting stocks, Tegan. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah! Teach me how to short a stock.
Yep.
Oh, shit. You were saying, Brian.
Welcome to the dystopian future that we did not want.
Oh, man.
Gotta say, price of eggs? I'm making bank.
know how we could have gotten ahead of this fucking problem is ostrich eggs. Yep. You know, like if you have a commodity where a single egg is like a dozen eggs, you're like, all right, here we fucking go. That's why we have got to bring those big birds right into the center of the market landscape, and we're the ones to do it. We have been calling for ostrich farming on this podcast for 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah.
I also would like to bring back the fan market, you know? And I think ostrich feathers are the way to do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
naturally sourced ostrich feathers from ostriches that naturally pass away.
Oh, man. Okay. And if the fan market explodes, can I buy burlesque futures?
Yes! Absolutely you can. I'm here to sell you a fantasy.
A Final Fantasy.
Oh man. I'm sorry. My brain was just trying to picture an entire burlesque routine built around chocobos, and then it just broke.
That sounds sick. Like, I'd watch that.
There is like a Final Fantasy Burlesque 7 that has like a burlesque thing, right? The, like, thing or whatever.
Yeah, in remake, they've expanded the segment where they put Cloud and a dress into a full like burlesque show. That's
yeah. There you go. We're done. We have the setting already.
See, Brian, we have Final Fantasy Burlesque at home.
There it is. There it is. And I guarantee if you put I am interested in Final Fantasy Burlesque into your Tinder profile, Tinder's like, put them in the 4th quadrant. They are the lowest grade of trash.
Unironically incorrect.
I would say specifically that line would do much better on Hinge and Bumble than it would on Tinder. But I hear where Brian's coming from.
See, I have inside baseball on that.
I'm gonna say,
and you're wrong. That's a top tier individual right there. And unfortunately, I cannot reveal my sources on the podcast for legal reasons and for the protection of their identity.
Fair. You know what? I hear that. That's okay.
I'm just glad that you've got science and math on it.
I do. I have science, math, and cosplayers on it. So, like, we're set.
Oh, fantastic.
I have the photo sets to prove it.
Photo sets to prove it, huh?
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck is a Hinge.
So Hinge is a dating app, much like Tinder. It's still a swipe app and everything, but the thing is that it has a more robust like personality test at the beginning that helps you like match people based on interests. And more importantly, once you have a match that you're happy with, that like you're willing to go on dates with continuously, the app will like self-delete, and that's the deal. And so like it's to suggest that if you're interested in like actually coupling, then like you won't need the app anymore, and it's built to kind of like expire essentially.
So it's like that fucking video game that we played.
Which one?
Oh, the dating video game with the aliens.
Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, oh shit, what is it called?
I know that this is my brain. What is going on?
I'm so upset. Give me a second. I'm just going to open my fucking I have a phone. No, I don't. Whatever. I'm going to play.google.com. And I'm going to look at the apps that I
Tender, but with an E.
Tender
Creature Comforts. That's what it's called. Right? Oh fuck. Jesus Christ.
We got there.
I just reopened the game and I got my Leave Planet button.
Honestly, yeah, but yeah, that's the idea. Like, you know, it's not exactly, you know, a 10-day visa or whatever, but the idea is that like if you're going through matches and you have a couple, but there's one that you want to stick with, then like the app will like trigger like an option on both ends for you to delete the app and just continue dating. And obviously, you know, if it doesn't work out, you can rejoin Hinge and just start again.
Oh man, I just I'm now scrolling through my chats from Tinder Creature Comforts.
Yeah.
And totally remembering so many of these interactions.
Yeah, right. It was well written. They actually did a really good job shaping the space.
Yeah. Rocky, you got eaten, right?
Yeah, I did get eaten once, yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if you go back and you check the notes, you're like, oh, I could tell that this person is carnivorous, if you read into some double entendre.
Yeah, which is it's a good mix up. That's what I mean. And dating apps are also kind of like that. It's just yeah, it's sometimes it's on the tin, and you just gotta keep an eye out for it.
Jesus, this is a deep callback on this show. But I remember one of a year one piece of content on this show was when we first got word that Tinder had a behind the scenes score system.
Yes.
And that users were assigned a score value, and it had a maximum possible value. And Rocky was like, I'm going to beat Tinder. And
yeah. I did that with a friend of mine. He was actually at my wedding. But we basically, we started fresh Tinder accounts. Well, sorry, let me go back. We also confirmed that if you contacted Tinder, they would and asked them for your score, they would give it to you. And so we started fresh Tinder accounts. We spent the summer dating or whatever, and then we both reached out to Tinder and we got our scores back.
Jesus Christ. Who was higher?
I was higher, but whatever.
Air horn.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
It was a fun summer.
Rocky low kick drills Hardy, figuring out how to do that on Tinder.
That actually reminds me. There was a shitty rom-com that one of the Wayans brothers was in. I can't remember which one. But the film was called Love Guaranteed, and the concept was that there was a guy who wait, hold on, starring Damon Wayans. That was the Wayans brother, because there's so many of them. But there's a guy who apparently was on this dating app that guarantees that you'll find your match within 1,000 dates, is in the fine print. And so he went on a certain number of dates, and he was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm actually going to find my match here. And so he decided that he was going to put together a lawsuit to sue the owners of the company. And to do so, he was scheduling dates that he did not expect to ever go well, to be honest. And so he was kind of checked out of the situation, but he was doing 3 dates a day at this one restaurant. The restaurant knows him very well. He would tip well. He always pay for the meals and everything, but he'd have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner date basically every day in between his physical therapy job, so that he could prep for his case against this company. And I was the meet cute is that he falls in love with the lawyer that he gets to take on the case, but whatever. It was kind of a fun movie, but a bit on the trashier side of rom-coms as opposed to the sciencey side.
Love Guaranteed,
mm-hmm.
with Damon Wayans the Jr.
Rachel Lee Cook, yeah.
Oh, not Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
Heather Graham. Oh.
I don't know who any of these people are.
There was a Damon Wayans Jr. rom-com that I recently endured.
Okay.
Called Players.
Oh fuck! Nah, really? Okay, for sure. With Gina Rodriguez? Okay, all right, for sure. Let's go. Come on, tell me all about it.
And in it, you see that Gina Rodriguez is the plucky, fun kind of girl who sure does love the sports.
Yeah, it's J-Lo minus nowadays,
Yeah, she's a, but she's not just a girl who loves the sports.
Uh-huh.
She's a veteran sports writer. She's
a
journalist. Because they're always journalists in these movies.
Well, it's one of the jobs they're allowed to have. Like in addition to
either it's either like journalist, architect, or they're in marketing.
Well, like there's also school teacher, baker. More the bakers are like not working at a bakery, but they own the bakery nowadays. But like
They'll have some name like Cinnamon Whoosh, and just like oh no, we're all out of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Well, what's Jack Black doing here?
Jack Black did his time in rom-coms, and I'm actually not mad at him. Like, he was actually one of the better parts of the holiday,
Okay, like, look, like, here's the thing about Jack Black. Is that, like, Jack Black acknowledges the truth about the type of fella that, quite a few women are into who watch rom-coms, because they, like, you talk to it. I'll tell you what. There are a lot of thirsty moms who are enjoying the Minecraft movie this weekend.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and they're not all there for the Jason Momoa. In fact, it's less likely that they're there for the Jason Momoa. It's like, oh, man, the number of like thirst posting I have seen about like Jack Black, like Jack Black, the things I would let him do. And you're just like, what, really? And you're like, yeah, no, man. That, like, people telling you that's not the case. That's just Big Momoa out there, with his like PR campaign. Like, God damn. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the time, like Jack Black's time logged in rom-coms, well spent. Right. Hurrah.
Yeah.
But this whole Players movie is like Gina Rodriguez thinks she meets the guy, right? It's like, oh, that's the guy. And she has a whole bunch of like friends who are like, oh, well, we run these elaborate, essentially like heist schemes to get laid.
Okay, sure.
And she's like, I want to run the big play to get this guy. And like, David Wayans Jr. is like, oh, I'm your best friend. I'll help you run this complex play. And of course, over the course of the movie, she's like, oh, I don't actually like the guy.
F.
I like Damon Wayans Jr. Take me to Fenway Park, sir. Take me. Yeah. And you know what? They both deserve better.
Well,
Gina Rodriguez and Damon Wayans Jr., they both deserve better.
I don't know. I feel like marrying into the Batman family's fine.
That's Wayne Teagan.
Yeah. That's what you were saying.
No.
Yeah. I heard it.
Although I am now thinking about Bruce Wayans, the lost Wayans brother. And it's just
there you go. See? This is a good movie already. Someone should hire me. I have great ideas.
I may be an orphan, but I have lots of siblings. Like, just get...
Oh my god.
Yep.
You can't say it wouldn't be a good movie.
I think it'd be fun. I'd watch it. I think that's all they really want from me.
We're not a Tinder podcast.
No.
We could be, but we aren't.
True. Yeah, we could be, but we're not.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We're at least for the foreseeable future a podcast about video games. But,
allegedly,
we could always be priced out of that hobby.
Until eventually we're a podcast about, like, good resources to find water locally. And
oh my god, yeah.
and who to trade bottle caps with. Like
oh my god. Oh, did you hear that Fallout 76 is starting to add fishing?
Just now?
Yeah, turns out.
Wait, starting to add what?
Fishing.
Oh no. You know what? That should be against the law.
No, let them fish.
Let them fish, Brian. It's fine.
What's wrong with fishing? Fishing's fun.
I was talking with friend of the show, Twan, the other day, and the reason I was this comes to mind is that I ran into him while he was playing some Fallout 4.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this inspires me to go fire up Skyrim, and so I went and I dusted off Skyrim for the first time in a couple of years.
Sure.
And it's so much fun to come back to, like, a game where one's primary experience with it is learning how to break the shit out of it, the most effective way possible.
Sure.
Like when I told Twan that like I had 500 plus hours into Skyrim before I ever even looked at a mod, he's like, how could you live that way? How do you live that way?
Oh, he's a big pro mod guy, but I hear
Yeah.
you.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I love figuring out how to make the video game work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it still melts his brain that in any given Bethesda game, you could unlock a door with a bowl.
Yeah.
He's like, how's that possible? How is it possible? And I'm like, because if you hold a bowl up to your face, the game thinks that you should allow the bowl through, and it doesn't realize that you're there. It's like, that's how stupid the video game is. It's delightful.
Mm-hmm.
It works the same way that the Mido skip does in Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I love that shit. I really do. Like, it is fun to me to create a spoon that does 2,000 points of damage.
Sure, yeah. I hear that.
That's fun, and that you don't need to mod the game to create the 2,000 point spoon.
Right.
And that all of that stuff still works in 2025 in the year of our Lord. Bethesda and Dev are like, hey, you know what? We should get the 2,000 point damage spoon out the game. Like they were like, hey, you know what? We should make it so you can't just get through every door with a bowl. Like they never patch any of that out.
Sure. Yeah.
Or infinite item duplication, with a follower. Like all that shit still works. Mm-hmm. Or making mannequins walk. You can make mannequins walk across Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
And they never took out walking mannequins. That's all just fascinating to me. Like if you put, you can create armor which increases movement speed, and you can create armor which increases movement speed by like thousands of percent. Which, if you put it on, is just like unwearable because you're moving too fast.
Sure.
But the game actually just like makes mannequins real characters within the world, but then just turns their movement speed down by thousands of percent.
Right. So like,
yeah,
if they should not move, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just put like movement speed buffed armor onto a mannequin, all of a sudden it becomes a person and can talk to you, and like you know what? That's fucked up, and I love it.
He's a real boy.
Video games, everybody. You know what? Fine. I rescind my previous statement. This filibuster is over. Enjoy your fishing, Fallout people.
I think it's cool because like there's a thing that a lot, and I don't want to have beef with criticism in a couple of ways, but like one thing that games criticism has done for about a decade that I've never jived with is that they got so excited around the term ludonarrative dissonance. And cool. What happened is that it changed the types of games that were getting made, the games that got critical attention and critical acclaim. And it made it so that more games were just kind of like trying to be movies that you could press buttons with rather than like actual toys that you could interact with.
Shout outs to the Sony experience.
Yeah. And like that happened across the industry, like once like The Last of Us blew up. Despite the fact stuff like Skyrim was still selling like year over year. I mean, there are some parallels to that. Like Grand Theft Auto is probably a good example of like a game that definitely has a story in it, but the story is not what it's about. It's about what you can do in the space.
Right.
But there were a lot less games, especially in the AAA space, that were not allowed to be anything else than like a story delivery mechanism with like near realistic graphics instead of like a place where you can play and explore and what have you. And like, I hope that changes soon. There's bits of it that you can see. I can see the seeds sprouting. I just hope they're cared for.
Oh. Well, you know what? I feel like, now, we're into video games now, y'all. Because
Sure.
as much as I may have said at the top of the show, unfortunately, we're also on a podcast about the pit. That was a
Could
lie.
be.
We could be a podcast about the pit.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to keep our options open,
True.
It's true. Because there'll probably have to be something in between video games and Where to Find Water. And,
Yeah.
The pit will probably be good for at least 1 week. I guess this is me saying I'm really enjoying the pit right now.
I'm glad.
Yeah, but I feel like it's time.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast started. God, what is it? Is it 8 years ago now?
7. This is the 8th year.
Yeah.
This podcast started like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the launch of the Nintendo Switch. And we marked, really the beginning of our show is like us wrapping our hands and our head around the idea of this new console. And it's kind of just like existed in the background of the fabric of this show. And so Nintendo, I get, which way do you swipe if you want to bang on these apps?
Right.
Okay. I guess Nintendo swiped right on us and said, come meet the Switch 2. And we did. And I think we probably all have feelings.
I actually don't have feelings, and I think that's the problem.
I don't have feelings also, but it is not a problem.
Oh. I think there was an exchange that happened in our group chat earlier this week, which I think was like a meaningful and a valuable exchange.
Okay.
Where I think I like all caps, and it was like biggest disappointment ever. And I was like quickly corrected by my co-host. We're like, no. Be certain, Brian, that this disappointment could be much larger.
Right.
And like that kind of like,
it's like, this is the biggest disappointment. Are you sure you want to title it that? Because like it could get worse.
and cautioning people about how much worse things could be, not from a place of hopefulness, but from a place of cynicism, is usually my line on this fucking show.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but we wanted to make sure your expectations were properly tempered.
Boy,
and I think we were right to do that.
Boy, well, howdy. Like I have spent some time now. I have watched the direct a couple of times.
Okay.
And I have read various other like ancillary articles, and I've watched some of the tree houses that followed. And like my biggest feeling is like generalized disappointment. Like there's like a sensation now. Like Nintendo is just another one of these people, Like,
okay.
And like I'm like, oh man, like it made me like when I think about like the Tamagotchi life that got I guess like shown to us like last week. Like I'm like that is more exciting and weird and fucking Nintendo than anything that got shown during the direct itself. Like that is the kind of weird shit that like has historically been like, oh man, yeah, I'm all about Nintendo. Like they just I think about the various different iterations of hope I had around the existence of like mouse support.
Okay.
For the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm like, oh man, the Joy-Cons are mice. I'm like, maybe that means that we're going to get Super Mario 3D Maker. Or maybe we're going to get the proper return to Mario Paint. Or maybe it just means that they've got Civ 7 licensed on this device. I don't know. Like, and it's that, which is like much more mundane. And it just to me at least now it just feels like a thing that runs video games that anybody else would publish. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely don't feel that way. Like I don't. I think this is just New Guard Nintendo, to be honest. And while I don't think we've seen like a full exploration of like what the hardware is going to be able to do, it looks like they're investing in this camera technology, and while that means that they're just trying to make like lesser Discord, or maybe just try to get more Nintendo people into their ecosystem rather than like using Discord as a third party tool, which a lot of Nintendo people actually do. Or also the like the mouse tools, like it looks like, at least from what I've seen people talk about the tech demo, it looks like they're a good iteration of like mice in addition to like Joy-Cons. And like there's just a lot of games that just would not have worked on like consoles period, but like the Switch specifically as well, without mouse support. And maybe we'll get a resurgence of like, adventure games that show up there. Like I don't know if Nintendo will make them, to be honest, but like there was a significant part of like the Switch 2 Direct that gave space to like third party publishers rather than just like touting their own like flagship stuff. And again, I feel like that's healthy for them.
Like there was a lot of on the PS4 generation specifically, a lot of like classic LucasArts adventure games getting re-released, and all of them had like a cursor that one would move with like the left thumbstick, which would work, but was nowhere near as elegant as
an actual
using a mouse. And I'm like, man, like it would be great to see something like Grim Fandango remastered, or Full Throttle remastered, or Day of the Tentacle on the Switch 2. Like adventure games like that they would thrive, and so would like stuff like dating sims. Because
there are so many dating sims on the Switch already.
Yeah, there's a lot of VNs have gotten a lot of space there. But like I feel like a lot of point and click stuff. Like I would be very interested if it turns out, because there's a new Carmen Sandiego game that's come out, and like that used to be just like a staple series. Like I remember when those like kind of came out like every year, and if instead of like CD-ROM releases every year, they turned out to show up on the Switch 2 every year, that could be good for the space, I think.
That Carmen Sandiego game, do you know who is currently has distribution rights for outside of the PC space?
I actually don't know who.
Netflix.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like you can get the Carmen Sandiego game now for like either iOS or Android, as long as you like download the Netflix app for your phone. So I can just check to make sure that you have an active Netflix account, and then there it is as part of your Netflix subscription.
Honestly, that's also built in, because like, or it's likely going to be built in, because like since like there is a Switch Netflix app, you could, oh wait, no, it's not on eShop right now, but like if they close that deal, like Netflix they want to be in the game space, and instead of trying to have people playing with smart TVs, but like they make it so that it's available on like things that could be on an app store. I don't know if Nintendo would play well with that, but maybe they would. Maybe Netflix could give Nintendo enough money that would allow them to basically allow them to have the Netflix app on Switch 2 machines, and then like their games like available there.
One of the things that I am very, very curious about with the Switch 2, which I don't think we have had #real talk about yet.
Sure.
is battery life.
Oh yeah, it's shorter, and that sucks.
Yeah, especially if people are running these like very just graphic and processing intensive games. Like if you were going to be sitting there playing Cyberpunk in handheld, like that is just going to like eat your battery.
True.
And I say this as a person who has like a Steam Deck, and so I know that there are definitely games which just eat your battery, and now that they want to like play in this space where they like offer like significantly higher graphical fidelity for a handheld experience, like it's gonna happen, but it's also like one of these like damned if you do, damned if you don't things, because I know that one of the other things which is going on in the Switch 2 is now they're offering or the Switch 2 takes advantage of DLSS. And so like which experience do you have? The thing that chews through your battery, or the kind of like weird uncanny valley sensation that the graphics don't seem quite right?
Right.
Probably a little bit of both.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. Have they mentioned yet? I haven't seen it. Whether or not they're using DLSS in any of their first party stuff, like is it just available for other publishers to use, or are they actually using it themselves?
My understanding is that they haven't come forward saying that anything first party is using DLSS, but that the technology is compatible with the hardware.
But I feel like I have dominated this conversation thus far. So like, hit me with some Switch 2 thoughts, y'all.
Honestly, they don't want my business, and that's fine. Like, I got plenty of other stuff to play. I have a hilarious amount of video games that I can sit down and play this generation instead of like engaging with the Switch 2. Like the price point is just like it's too high for what they're asking for, I think. And like
and it's about to go up.
Yeah, and it's going to go up even higher, especially if you live in the States. But like even like the EU, like they're looking at these prices, and like they're just like this has nothing to do with us, and it's just like maybe that's how they're doing business now. Either way, it doesn't have much to do with me. That's what I mean. Like I looked at it and like some of it looks cool. There's some things that I would be interested in, like I like to play the new Rhythm Heaven game. Maybe, I don't know. And like Metroid Prime 4 is a long time coming. I'd like to like see what it's about, but not at that price. And even like stuff like Deltarune, like chapters 3 and 4 are going to be out day one, and I'll just watch a video about it. Honestly, it's not that urgent to me. Like I don't have to fight them about this. And like it's weird a little bit because I've definitely spent a lot of time and money over the years with Nintendo and their products, and like they seem to be a company that is interested in my business and like trying to curate things for my personal enjoyment, and I don't see that happening now, and I don't think I've changed that much. So it just seems like we're going in different directions, and I think that's okay.
Like there are things which they like I think that I think there's a certain amount of there's definitely like some recession coding to it for at least me.
Sure, yeah.
Where like if Nintendo had previously told me like, okay, look, you can the weird stupid blueprints that you create in Tears of the Kingdom, you can send your friends your stupid blueprints, but first you have to pay us money to do that. That feels weird.
Yeah.
The whole like idea of like intergenerational console upgrades requiring money feels weird. I really am struggling with this whole like plastic key for digital games thing.
Yeah, that is going to run into problems, and people are going to yell about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, like
I don't see that lasting, honestly.
I agree.
I see that being a thing that gets dropped pretty quick.
Yeah.
I hope it does. But like also like Nintendo has shown that they dig their heels in about some weird shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. That's also
Yeah.
true.
But like the whole like plastic key for digital games thing is literally a thing that Microsoft got roasted so bad about that Don Matrick was offered up on the altar of sacrifice. Like, part of the reason that we have Phil Spencer now is Don Matrick is like, discs are just plastic keys, baby. And like obviously, like it's a a very different company and a very different culture. But I think it's just one of those things where there was like such a density of news regarding the Switch 2 because it was a pretty huge information dump,
right?
And like I think that right now, like a lot of the mind share for like the average person is how much is like the question is now how much is this thing actually going to cost because of tariffs, and so like I don't think a lot of people have like room to consider. Oh, what do you mean that when I buy Civ 2, I'm sorry, when I buy Civ 7, like there is no actual game on the cartridge when I have to insert a little plastic tab in order to run a game I bought off the store. Like, both Microsoft and Sony, like if you buy a box which doesn't actually have a physical game in it, like you get like a little sheet with a code, and once you enter the code, like you're done. There's no more like, hey, you have to keep track of the sheet with the code in perpetuity.
Right.
It's one of those things where like they will look like I have made it my business over the last like 12 to 18 months to repeatedly like knock Sony and make fun of Sony's like inability to understand changing markets. And like this is an example of what I would call like Nintendo pulling a Sony.
Right.
Because it's so backward looking. It seems like the kind of thing that a company would have come up with in like 2005, 2006, where they're like, "Oh wow, how do we solve the digital game problem?"
Honestly, that is a thing that Nintendo tends to do. I remember grandfather of the show harping on something. I forgot what exactly Nintendo was doing at the time, but I think it had something to do with like NSO or like the way that like Smash lobbies worked. And they are so determined to kind of like reinvent the wheel on their own terms, like without respect to like the failings of their predecessors. Yeah. That they'll just like that they'll just make obvious mistakes that their predecessors made 10 years ago because they figure we're Nintendo and we're going to figure it out our own way and you're going to pay us either way. And like there's that, I feel like that's been built into the company for like longer than that conversation. Like honestly, maybe as far back as the SNES, but like I feel like these are just mistakes that Nintendo is determined to make, and I say let them. I hope they're super expensive and they learn from them. That's the only way they're gonna.
Yeah, like no, I agree, and the thing is that I feel like the Switch 2 itself is fundamentally one of those mistakes. Because I just look at the thing and I'm like, I know this is a thing that sounds weird to say about a video game console, but I just look at it and I go like, yeah, it's just too much power, baby. This little machine goes from 0 to 60 too quick.
I know what you mean, like especially since like part of Nintendo's design philosophy that has extended throughout the length of like the old guard is that they make underpowered systems because what it does is that it makes it so that developers are more able to create stuff for it because they don't have to push. They don't need as much tech power on their end to just like make the thing, and they're not expected to perform on like a certain level of fidelity, so they can explore like the play space. They can make a better toy as opposed to making like a more powerful thing. But now that they're putting the power in the hands of like people and like setting this expectation that like developers may be less open to like design around the unique parts of it. and instead just try to push their cookie cutter stuff onto a portable system. But like, this is also something that I think Tegan and I discussed with Spiro a bit, where they lamented Switch 2 because it sounds like it's not like real portable gaming anymore. Like it feels like it takes up too much space and it's too big of a thing. I think he specifically said playing a Switch like on the subway is like asking to get punched in the mouth, as opposed to like, you know, something smaller that had a better form factor that wasn't as like there's a good word that begins with an O. I can't remember. But like, you know, like obvious. Obtrusive maybe no, it's like it's conspicuous, but like I can't remember what the other word is. But like something that's a lot less conspicuous, and it's just like it's you taking up a little bit of space in a thing that you can definitely hold the entire day if your battery would allow it, instead of some giant thing that you got to carry around that's going to burn out for like 4 hours. So like you only play it 10 minutes at a time. You know what I mean? Like it's building toward a very different experience that probably will not land the way that like portable gaming has over our lifetimes.
Yeah, like it just the like this is definitely something like that. We've talked about the idea that UIs which are designed for televisions or UIs which are designed for computer monitors are very, very different,
right,
than UIs for like mobile gaming devices or phones. And you can't just take one and then scale it down to put it on the other,
right?
Because what you end up with is like way tiny text and just people squinting at their devices when they're like trying to read a menu. And there was less of that on the Switch 1 because the Switch 1 was underpowered enough that it wasn't like, say, inundated with mainstream third-party ports. Like
right.
Ubisoft and EA and such were not like tripping over themselves to put a whole bunch of shit on the thing. Like it got some support, but not like support left and right. And when I watched that opening, direct, I was really struck by just how much leaning on third party there was, and it's not even really like the leaning on indies, which they had done successfully throughout periods of the Switch's life, and like that often worked because indie developers were incentivized to target the Switch. Like there's like you're like, oh yeah, there's this market here. You can really clean up here, and so like indie developers would do stuff like rescale their UI so that way it would work on the Switch. But Ubisoft would be like, oh yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna just make it smaller. That's fine. I'm like, man, how much more like make it smaller? That's fine. Are we gonna get like?
Probably
I was thinking about like just how irritating the Hitman UI specifically will be, because it presents all of your like various accoutrements when you're preparing your loadout for a mission as this like single like ribbon, and then like there is like small elegant tasteful text underneath each image, like describing like what each thing does. And so like you'll see a little picture of a thing, you're like, oh, that's the thing. But if you need to jog your memory as to what it does, like the text that describes what each thing does is going to be absolutely microscopic, unless there is a rescale of the text components of the UI.
Right.
I could see someone going like, oh, what does a gold bar do? Because like what a gold bar does is like very, very specific and unusual.
I'm also interested in like how like the Dustblood stuff plays out, because like one of the things that FromSoft has said is that while the game is supposed to be like PvP, oh my god, PvPvE, where like there are enemies that you can fight in the environment, but it's also like an 8-player like multiplayer experience. They said that largely the story is going to be told through item descriptions, and so like if the item descriptions don't really work well on handheld, like I think I mean they're probably going to get yelled at for it anyways because it's a multiplayer like FromSoft game, but like I would be interested to see how that is handled. But Hitman's probably going to come out first, right? Like it's like day one.
um, another thing I wonder is like for these games which exist in other console spaces but also exist in PC spaces, are they going to like support stuff like mouse and keyboard? Like right now, like if I play, Hitman on a PS5, by default, I'm only allowed to, play it with a controller. So like I'm curious as to like how, like ports work, for games which have, existing versions in other console spaces and PC spaces. Like, are they going to try and accommodate as many different like input methods as possible? Will you be able to play Hitman mouse and keyboard, or will it say like, hey, the wholly available input method is controller?
Don't know yet. Would be interesting to find out though.
Yeah, because it'll certainly create like something like a power imbalance in like say the shooter space. Like if you have some game where like some folks are able to mouse and keyboard and they're not getting siloed into like a different matchmaking hopper.
To be honest, like
doesn't that already happen?
It's been largely dealt with. There are plenty of like shooters that have crossover play. I think the loudest group nowadays is Apex, that has like crossover between console players and mouse and keyboard. And basically it's a balancing act between like allowing like a certain level of aim assist on controller in like mouse and keyboard like lobbies. And like, controllers already have aim assist, but like Apex has definitely gotten to a point where like people don't yell about it as much anymore. I think like the last time it came to a fever pitch was like 2-3 years ago, where there was like a pro player that was like saying that they were going to switch from mouse and keyboard to controller because they like weren't able to like deal with controller players with the amount of aim assist that like Apex was giving them. And that was a bit of a to-do. It didn't hit major outlets. But those complaints don't really come up anymore. And it's not because the mouse and keyboard people left or anything. Like, it's people still play Apex,
right. But
it's just like, it's the issue has largely been dealt with. It's balanced in a way that most people don't yell about it anymore.
Hitman will be out first. Hitman's going to be out in June, and Duskbloods isn't going to be out until 2026.
Thank you, Tegan.
Yeah. I don't think Duskbloods is going to do very well, generally.
I mean, it's not going to be Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3.
It's not going to be Elden Ring. It's not going to be Dark Souls 3. It's a Switch exclusive, so you're only going to be able to play it on Switch. Yeah. And I don't think the people who play FromSoft games are going to buy a Switch exclusively for Duskbloods.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure it's just meant for like the Bloodborne holdouts. Which is fine. I think that's okay. Like, Sony's not going to do a remaster. The 10-year anniversary came and went. They didn't even say anything about it. And so like they could just remaster the same game and put it on fucking PS5. They could just the fucking 60 frame per second like mod that someone in the community made available for like years got like copyright struck by Sony, and they haven't said anything about it since. Like, they just wanted that gone. And like it very much just seems like the Bloodborne conversation is not going to proceed with Sony. And so like, I guess if you want something that feels a bit like the Bloodborne fix or something in that space, buy a Switch 2. And these people have been waiting 10 years. They'll drop $600 to touch something that feels like Bloodborne and then have the privilege of playing Silksong. Like, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I also don't know about Silksong coming out 2026. You know?
I hear you.
I'm not going to believe that until Team Cherry says it with their mouth. You know? And I don't think they're going to do it.
I'm going to say it right now. I think that Silksong is into fucking Duke Nukem Forever territory.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Like, one of my all-time favorite penny arcade strips. Shows Gabe and Tycho in the original art style from when the comic launched, and it's Gabe saying to Tycho, "I swear to God, if Duke Nukem Forever ever fucking launches, I will give you a blowjob." And then the last panel of the strip was their current art style at the time. And Tycho's like, "Oh man, this is going to be so awesome." Reaching for his buckle. And it's just like, Silksong, like, Team Cherry could say it. Team Cherry could come to my door with a megaphone and knock and say, like, "The game is coming out tomorrow." And I'm like, "Yeah, uh-huh."
When I see it, I believe it.
Exactly.
It's like, well, so Duke Nukem Forever, for people who don't know, was announced in 1996 and didn't release until 2011.
Right.
For people who are unaware, because I was not aware, so I just had to Google it real quick. That's a huge chunk of time.
Yeah.
You know? I could see it.
Yep.
I don't think it's quite going to be that long. But I don't think it's going to be 2026.
I think that we are now in the amount of time where it is fair to say, do I think this game is ever coming out? ? And I'm not sure about all that.
I believe it'll come out eventually.
Sure.
Not 2026.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Team Cherry hasn't said anything about it, to be fair. Like, it was just the direct. And the last time something like this happened was when Xbox did an insider showcase, and they said it was going to come out in 2022. And then when people asked them about it, it's like Silksong's coming out in 2022. They said everything we show today will show up and will come out in 2022. And that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, everything shown today will come out later this year, is what they said. And then it's like, but if you close your eyes, you know?
Yeah.
God. I don't know. I don't think it's coming out this year. You know what? If it comes out this year, I'll play Hollow Knight. I hate platformers, and I'll play Hollow Knight.
For sure. Hollow Knight's a good video game. I like it a lot.
I hate platformers!
I know.
So, no, it's not.
Okay, it is a good video game, despite the fact that you don't like it, Tegan.
It's a good video game, but I don't like it.
That's fine. I understand.
And I don't like watching people play it, because I don't like it. It's fine.
Oh, man. I remember I was watching a friend of mine who, like, they were very proud about the fact that they played through Hollow Knight on their own. They didn't look up guides. They got to the end of it. They felt like they got to 100%. They did everything. They were super happy about it. And one day, we were at my apartment and we were watching a speed run of it. This person did a, quote, 106% run of Hollow Knight in like 2-ish hours. And there's like a jump that happens like an hour in where like they do like a double jump and then they still need to get up higher before they can do anything. And they basically down slash an enemy, which lifts them just high enough so they can get hit by a spike, so that they could use like an ability to like move even further. And he just like sits up and says, "Oh, fuck you." Like an hour in, he was watching just absolutely silent, absorbing all the information of all the stuff that was going on in the speed run. And that was the moment where he says, "This is bullshit. I can't believe you just did that." And it was great. Good times.
Yeah. Like I guess now that we are on this particular tangent cul-de-sac,
sure.
I have gotten more into watching speedruns again recently, and I have discovered a brand of speedrun that makes me want to drink heavily and weep.
Okay.
Which is the Super Mario Sunshine speedrun.
Wow.
Yep. That's no good. That's no good. Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I was watching this, like, exhausted person explain 80% runs in Mario Sunshine.
Sure.
They're like, okay, look, here's the deal. There are 6 critical junctures throughout the current 80% run model that rely on RNG.
Sure.
And those 6 different junctures that rely on RNG have scales of success between 17 to 100%.
Okay.
So it is possible to not know that you have an unwinnable run until the last RNG encounter.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, that just sounds like ritual suicide, baby. Like, Ocarina of Time's 80% run has 1 RNG check at this point.
Right.
Which is, falling off the tower. That's it. That's it. But the idea of an 80% speed run that requires 6 RNG rolls, fuck me. And, like, you don't know that it's unwinnable until the last one.
It sounds like a roguelite to me.
Like, oh no, Rocky. Oh no, you're making it make sense.
Oh man.
Oh no. Man, but yeah, those Mario Sunshine speedrunners, they all have that 1,000-yard stare, man. It's amazing.
I mean, they've seen some shit. They've gone through it. Brian, I know you're never going to play Monster Hunter, and that's fine. But there was a thing that was in older Monster Hunter that no longer exists, thank God. Where like when you created a character, the charms, like the kind of like equipment that you could like use to like augment particular skills, not like your weapons or your armor, but like an additional accessory, were pulled from a table that is generated when you create your character, right? That was how it used to be. I think up until about 4U, they might have taken it out in 4U, but I remember it was in 3U or 3 Ultimate specifically. So Try was also counted, the one that came out on the Wii. And of the charm tables, of where there were like 36 of them or something, I think 8 of them are cursed, specifically meaning that there are 8 charm tables that will lock you out of all of like the end game skills in the game, and you'll just never get a charm from it. And you'll never know that you have a cursed charm table unless you use like a ROM checker, essentially. There's like a code inside the game that you can plug into a thing, and it'll tell you which of the tables you have and whether or not it's cursed. And my boy Hennessy got 200 hours into Monster Hunter 3U before he realized he had a cursed table. And it was just like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll start over. But he was 200 hours in. Like, it was just, there's nothing you can do about it. And, thankfully that is not the modern Monster Hunter experience, but that just used to be real. There's just some shit that they just did. I guess as a joke. I don't know why they did it, but it was crazy.
When we're talking about, like, video games with just, like, impossibly long development cycles, another one that comes to mind is Barkley 2.
Oh man, that's never coming out. I've given up.
That one eventually got canceled.
Yeah. Rip hoops, man.
Yeah, like during year 2 of the pandemic, they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like, we're all gonna die. Barkley 2 not happening. And I remember my Barkley 2 experience.
Okay.
It was when I went to Camp Fangamer. Camp Fangamer has like a very selective, choosy room where like games are allowed to be shown, but basically you have to make a case to Fangamer about like how your game is influenced by the Mother series.
Sure.
And like you can't just show up and be like, "Hey, look, okay, we want to show butt stuff 87." Like you just can't. And the one of the 2 years I went, when I went into the game room, they're like, "Barkley 2? Would you like to experience the character creation of Barkley 2?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll experience the character creation of Barkley 2." And they're like, "Okay, great. Were you planning on going to any panels in the next 2 hours?"
Well,
I'm sorry, did you say hold on?
no, I said Lamau.
Okay. And so I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't have any panels planned. They're like, great. So you can sit down and try the character creation experience for Barkley 2, which was about 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered that your character can die during character creation in Barkley 2.
Honestly, that's kind of sick. Tell me more.
Yep. And like you don't know until you hit the button that says like lock features. And then you're like, congratulations, you just spent 2.5 hours creating a character who is now dead. Game over.
I have to find out the conditions under which your Barkley 2 character will die. Give me a moment.
It should be available now because they released the source code in 2021.
The character creation trailer asked all the tough questions, huh? Okay. Do you remember any of the conditions that would cause your character to die?
Like they're like it was like there were various vectors that when they were combined. Like I know that it was possible. Like, for example, like one of the things was like there was like tobacco use or smoking, and then there was also like an age vector for your character, like their starting age, and so it's possible that like your character has been smoking so long they have already developed cancer.
Oh, that's kind of sick, actually.
And that was just one of the ways that a character could die during character creation. And I was just like, oh man, holy shit! And so like I guess like I could appreciate the I guess I could just say, you know what, it's great. It's just not for me, everyone. You know, because there's like, if I want to experience a sense of meaningless futility and a Sisyphean task, I'll play the hashtag game called Life. The idea of like adding another layer on, I think it's probably why I'll never play League of Legends, man. It's because like
I don't know. I think there's a world in which you might play League of Legends, but I'm not personally interested in it. But continue.
Oh man, yeah, no, like if I'm playing League of Legends, I am full on wearing a felt goatee. Like it is. Yeah, like it is. Oof. Yeah, we're in a universe where like I lost an arm during the fire, and you know somebody else is like, obviously you don't understand trolls, and just like it's no good. It's no good. Tegan has a dyed streak in her hair. Like,
oh god, this might be real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they just gotta release a good deck builder, and you'd be down.
I mean, yeah, like Runeterra. Oh wait, they're making another card game. Actually, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
I could see Brian dipping in at least for a card game.
Because they made Legends of Runeterra, which is just like reskin Hearthstone but with League of Legends character. But they're making a new card game. It's called Riftbound. That's right, and that's an actual TCG. I don't know if they're also going to do a digital TCG, but like, yeah, it looks but they are just straight up making a different like card game.
You know what?
Like I don't see the lane thing happening, but like card game.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe not.
Friends, I'm going to get back to Nintendo here in a second because I have additional thoughts, and
sure, man.
I'm sure hoping my peers do as well, because like I did not expect to be the one doing the bulk of the talking on Nintendo. But while we seem to have stumbled into the collectible card game cul-de-sac, I would like to take this very special moment to say, whoever at Blizzard was responsible for creating playtest data for the card Archdruid of Thorns, I would like for you to do this. I want you to make sure you walk to your car when it's brightly lit. And watch out for yourself, because you might never know when a large bearded man will come for you. Okay? to carry yourself. To carry yourself. I had an experience with this card, which was so fundamentally...
Hang on. But before we continue, for legal reasons, this is a joke.
For legal reasons, this is a joke. Yeah.
Continue.
I know, Tegan. I'm going to show you some screenshots. You tell me if it's a joke.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, for legal reasons, these screenshots are not real.
No, the screenshots could be real. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where is it?
But for legal reasons, the thread is a joke.
Yeah, we can't let anything actionable show up on the show. It's a whole thing.
Okay. It's sending. Why is it? There we go.
I don't want to be investigated by Doge and then have to have a law in California named after me, you know?
Yeah, I hear that.
Okay. Right.
Oh, Teagues, they fucked our boy up. Oh my god.
Wow.
That's so funny. No.
Wow, how the hell? Negative 777 damage? What the fuck happened?
All right. So there are multiple things which are terrible about this image.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Number one, we remember what the base health is in Hearthstone, right? Do we
It's
know
like
that?
30, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
Goes from 30 down to 0.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're looking there is negative 777 health.
That'll kill a whole bloodline, man.
It sure will.
That kills your progeny. That kills
does.
your children and your children's children.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Probably some cousins twice removed, so on.
Yeah, rip them.
Now, the next thing. If you look over on my side of the board, do you see that kind of green and black circle?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Okay. And I think it's probably because I probably told you about this, how it's possible to create an infinite demon portal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I discovered, because of this fucking card interaction, that portal is not actually infinite.
Okay.
There is apparently a finite number of demons in the portal.
That's good to know.
It just so happens that the number of demons in the portal is over 1,000. So they don't think that there is a way to exhaust the demons.
Yeah.
And so they didn't put the number on the card. They're not fuck it, 1,024 demons in the portal.
Right.
Because that's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But Friendo here found a way to make me draw over 1,000 cards in a turn.
They're scientists, man.
This is amazing. I hope you sent this image to Hearthstone.
Yeah, you gotta send this to Blizzard. They gotta know about this one, man.
Yeah,
I'm positive they have no idea that this is possible.
Oh yeah, no, this interaction is the kind of shit that they would be lock it down.
This is 100% a fringe case that they were this is never gonna happen, and now you have the proof that it has happened, and they need to know.
Yeah,
I have encountered and this is here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I will get into a streak where I am just whipping asses left and right?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just beating ass, and I know the way MMR works is they're who else is beating ass as much as this guy? And the only 2 times that it has been able to serve somebody up who's beating ass as much as me is somebody who is like running this ridiculous, broken fucking deck, which is like creating interaction which shouldn't occur.
Yeah, sure.
And both times when the person gets the thing off, because it requires them to kill certain numbers of their own minions in a certain order.
Yeah, sure.
And so like they have to carry cards in their deck which allow them to damage their own shit. Like there's bullshit which has to happen.
They're scientists.
In order for this to occur. But as soon as they get that last card off, they just start spamming the thank you button over and over again.
Oh my god.
No, Brian! Someone figured out how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in Hearthstone.
You got sent to the Shadow Realm.
They sent you to the Philippines, bro. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. Like, fuck, this is like that Pepsi contract from the Philippines. Like,
oh shit, that's so funny.
No.
Oh god, this is so good, Brian. You have to post this in video games. You just have to put it there, and like whoever, they're either gonna know about Hearthstone, they're gonna listen to this, and they'll be able to see what happened.
Oh my god,
fuck, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so like the fatigue, the way fatigue works is the first time you run out of cards, you take 1 damage. And then the second time you try and draw cards when you have no cards, you take 2 damage.
Oh, is that actually is 41 I? Or like, hold on. Like, is 41 the Fibonacci sum? Is that real? Or like...
all that means is that he has prompted me to try to draw 40 times when I had no cards.
Right.
Which means that what he actually prompted me to draw... he grabbed the number. He prompted me to draw
10, 11...
1,065 cards.
Oh. Okay, then that doesn't add up to 777 unless you had a higher health total, but even then...
because the thing is that this particular deck I was running, my health when he did this to me was well above 30.
Okay.
Because I had used things to drain his health. My health was sitting at around 70. I had increased my health that much, and I had 40 armor. Because there's these leeches now that allow you to suck the other player's health. And I was like, why? I'm like, why doesn't he care about my leeches? And then I found out why he didn't care about my leeches. If you peer behind that fatigue thing, you can see the outline of an armor shield.
Yeah.
Which indicates he has 172 fucking armor.
Yeah.
Because he set up this sequence that once I started fatiguing, he started gaining armor.
That's so funny.
Oh. This is a war crime.
Brian, I'm so sorry, but also that's what Master Duel looks like every time. I know I showed you a video where someone did their turn 1 10-minute combo to rock someone or whatever, but everything you're describing to me is just how that game works. Maybe not on turn 1, but still. I
definitely heard in my head the words "never before in the history of Dota" when this.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Brian, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm pretty sure they're gonna fix it, but that's nuts, man. Fuck.
Yeah. And the thing is that because it's not one of those things, which is being done, y'all are absolutely right that this is a supreme edge case,
right?
Because they already put out the first balance patch, related to the new expansion and the card rotation, And like most of the shit which is going on in play, they fixed. They're like, hey, we fixed this. Hey, we fixed this. Hey, we fixed this. And I'm like, okay, great. You got all the shit which is going on in regular play. But I see you're not aware of the existence of the Shadow Realm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You are now.
Fuck the Archduke. Fuck him.
For people who aren't familiar with wait, you said Archduke? Did you mean Archdruid?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Archdruid.
Okay, because I looked at when Brian said it. The Archdruid of Thorns is a legendary minion. No, an epic minion. Excuse me. That has an ability that a battle cry that gains the death rattles of your minions that died this turn. So, like, if you have minions on your side of the map that like die and then they do death rattles, if you kill this thing, it'll do all those again, essentially.
So here's how you make that even worse.
Okay.
So like, let's say you kill a plated beetle,
Sure.
and a plated beetle does something like, oh, I don't know, gain you 3 armor every time it dies.
Sure.
And then you kill. There's a Murloc right now, which has a death rattle, which draws both you and your opponent a card. And there is a creature which has every class on it, and its battle cry reads, shuffle a copy of this into your deck.
Oh.
Alright, so let's say those 3 things die, and an Archdruid dies. Okay? So that Archdruid is going to have the quality of those 3 cards. And then after that, you kill a second Archdruid. So now you're going to get the armor buff from the plated beetle. You're going to force yourself and your opponent to draw a card. You're going to shuffle the thing that is dying back into your deck so that way you yourself don't run out of cards. And then you're going to cycle it a second time. And you can basically get these Archdruids into an infinite feedback loop.
Yep.
Where like they just die over and over and over and over again. Because you just feed them battle cries. I'm sorry, you feed them death rattles, which cause them to die, shuffle themselves back into your deck, and just make your opponent draw shit. And you just like, it's basically like setting an infinite spinning top to go and just sitting there shouting, it's my birthday! I can listen to whatever music I want. These are my songs! And that happens for hours. That would happen to me. I just got up and walked away.
Video games are something so great, honestly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm glad that your reaction is like the world is beautiful. I love the magic.
Yeah, man, because it's a toy. At the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry the toy hit you, Brian, but like, also the fact that it can do it at all is kind of nuts.
It's like, what if stepping on a Lego was a knife? You
know? What if it turned to a knife the moment you stepped on it? Like, that's what I mean, right? Like,
yeah, like because like, normally you're like, ooh, ow, ow, Lego, but now you're like, oh god, no. What if sepsis?
Like, oh, that reminds me, Brian, have you been paying attention to Common Side Effects at all? The new Mike Judge show at Adult Swim.
I keep on hearing about Common Side Effects, and full disclosure, earlier this weekend, I finally buckled on a TV show because I take on TV so rarely now.
I hear that.
I'm like, oh, do I really want to make a commitment to all this television? But I finally buckled earlier this weekend and took on a TV.
Okay.
When I was like, fuck it, I'll watch The Pit.
Right. Yeah.
And oh, Nelly, The Pit, baby. Like, I am here. I am here for The Pit. But what's funny is that there is so much overlap between people who are telling me to watch The Pit and people who are telling me to watch Common Side Effects.
Yeah. Because they're both indictments of like the existing healthcare system, actually.
Yeah. They're both like incredibly critically hailed shows. Like in their first season, and I guess they're also both on Max. Okay, craziness. So I guess there's that too. But yeah, no, I guess I keep on hearing the things, Rocky, and funny enough, the Pit wraps this Thursday. So maybe I'll check out some Common Side Effects.
Yeah, maybe. Common Side Effects is done. It just got a leverage. Excuse me. It just got a greenlit for a second season. But it did a good job. You know, it's adult animation, which is like kind of a crapshoot, to be honest. But the writing is punchy. They do things in animation that would explode a normal live action TV budget. And it's a very like good show, solid writing, interesting, strange but well drawn characters. Good stuff.
They also just renewed the Pit, and they announced over the weekend when the Pit season 2 would take place, and then it's like, yeah, the Pit season 2 is going to take place over the next season of the Pit is going to, because each season of the Pit is one 15-hour workday in an emergency room.
That's pretty sick.
Right.
It's a pretty cool concept, actually.
And they're like, yeah, season 2 is going to take place on July 4th. And I'm like, oh no. oh no. Like, there are going to be some people showing up with less fingers. Yeah. That's going to be a whole thing. Wait, Nintendo.
Yeah. You said you were going to go back to Nintendo, then you didn't.
Yeah, I'm working my way back.
Yeah, sure.
So, am I the only one who didn't get super rock hard looking at Mario Kart World? I really didn't.
I don't care about Mario Kart.
I think it's fine. So. I'm glad that the people that are going to have fun are going to have fun.
Yeah.
That don't have nothing to do with me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's so, it's weird because, part of one of the things that I like about Mario Kart is the ability to just, pick it up and fuck around for a few minutes.
Sure.
And it feels like by moving it into, an open world play space, the ability to fuck off for 15 minutes with Mario Kart is reduced.
How did you get there?
Yeah, I suppose you could, just drive around in free roam mode, but I don't know, sometimes you just, hey, look, I just want to race on the cow level for 10 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what would stop you from doing that.
I don't know. I got the impression that there was specific spawn-in points around the world. Maybe you can drop maybe you can spawn in at any specific race location.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe what's really, it's possible that what's giving me that impression is just experience with other games that are open world. If I'm comparing it against something like Assassin's Creed Origins or Zelda or Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row or whatever. Open world games generally lend themselves to much longer play sessions.
Sure. But I don't know. I feel like the more apt comparison would be Forza or Gran Turismo.
Yeah, okay. It's a great call out, sir.
I'm here to help.
God, you know what occurs to me is that probably the most apt comparison for this is that weird fucking Ubisoft The Crew.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, where they're it's open world with various race locations, and you drive around oh god. This is Mario Kart The Crew.
Yeah, I can believe that.
What the fuck?
Good for them, I guess, man.
Senpai's gonna really like that.
Yeah. Also, didn't The Crew get unceremoniously shut down?
Yeah.
It did get unceremoniously shut down, and then The Crew 2 got unceremoniously shut down.
Yeah.
But this is also making my head spin because I remember one of the comparisons that got made when The Crew launched was how the car physics in the game felt like Mario Kart.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. I'm going to spiral a little bit on this one.
Take your time, man.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I mean, we know that Nintendo has had kind of like a kissy cousins relationship with Ubisoft for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
But like there was that Toyetic shooter where they're like, yeah, you can put together the Star Fox ship. Although this game has nothing to do with Star Fox, and then the Mario and the Rabbids. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they might look at the Crew and go, you know what? What if you could just drive to Rainbow Road?
I don't like that the costumes, what I thought were costumes in the game, are actually separate racers. I think that's stupid.
I hear that.
There are various racers that are included in this game that I just straight up when I saw the racer, I was like, this is horse shit. This is dumb.
Okay.
The cow that exists in the background of previous like Mario Kart games.
Yeah, now they learned how to drive. Upper mobility or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the example of like, hey, you were the acting manager of the call center long enough. Now you get to Jesus.
Yeah.
See, I'm fine with that. Just like I'm fine with like Mario and Baby Mario being separate racers. Even though Baby shouldn't drive a car, but that's beside the point. I'm less okay with Mario and Pit Crew Mario and Mario with a different outfit on being separate drivers. You know?
I hope they feel different enough somehow. Like, I was on the fence about Mario versus Dr. Mario and Smash, but like, they're different characters.
Yeah, that's fair. Those feel different enough. But like, this really does look just like Mario in a different hat.
Right.
As opposed to like Mario versus like Metal Mario versus like Dr. Mario, which like are previously established as different, you know? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to me.
Yeah. Like, it's not clear that they have different properties. It looks like a skin.
Pull up the list of Mario Kart World characters, because as I recall, like there are definitely there are some choices.
Sure, man.
Yeah, okay, here we go. List of characters in Mario Kart World. Oh, okay, yeah. This is exactly great. Tegan, this is perfect because this speaks to both your complaint and my complaint. Oh, so good. So there's Mario, all-terrain Mario, cowboy Mario, and touring Mario. I'm not with that. I'm not. Nope. Like,
what about them makes them different racers?
Exactly.
Like that sounds like Mario in 4 skins. What makes them different racers? What about their stats is different enough to warrant different slots? Or is it just that you want to make sure that 4 people can play Mario and not feel bad about it? You know?
Please tell me how Luigi is different than Gondolier Luigi.
Well, that one has a job.
Gondolier Luigi is clearly employed. He pays his taxes, unlike regular Luigi, who busts ghosts and steals dead people's wealth.
Gondolier Luigi probably does better on Hinge.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Makes a better photo, at least.
Okay.
Gondolier Luigi also has a built-in date idea.
Yeah.
He says, what if I take you on my boat around Italy? And everyone goes, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they forget that they're stuck in a boat. You know?
Yeah.
They're so thrown off by the romance of going around Italy. And yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Toad and Toad Burger Bud. Where
same fucking Toad, okay? Toad and Toadette, different racers. That's fine. But like, come on, you know? I'm glad that they're letting Pauline join. That feels good, you know? I don't know. Birdo gets to ride. That's fine, you know? Like, Bowser's in? Good.
Oh,
is
shit.
Dry Bowser in?
We've got Bowser, all-terrain Bowser, and then divorced dad Bowser.
Is that actually the title? Is it actually divorced dad Bowser?
You know what you'd think, but it's biker Bowser.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like, if Bowser and then, like, Dry Bones Bowser was in, I'd be fine with that. Because Dry Bones Bowser is clearly a lightweight Bowser, you know? Like, that's gotta be lightweight. There's no meat on them bones. But, I don't know.
I hear you.
I don't know, I feel it feels bad. I wish there were skins, not separate racers. But
in Wario, we've also got divorced dad Wario. But there's no divorced dad Waluigi. Can I get some consistency here?
Wario is a divorced dad, but Waluigi is not a divorced dad. Waluigi is happy.
Get married. They're gonna play the field.
Oh, I was gonna say Waluigi's happily married with a woman that he doesn't talk to his compatriots about because he knows that they'd just give him shit for it. You know?
It's finally time for the Waluigi Birdo fan fiction.
That's why he only shows up for the sports games and for racing, you know? Because he's busy. He has a wife and he's raising his children. He's a clear and present father.
Oh, no. Baby Daisy and Explorer Baby Daisy.
That's dumb. That's just Baby Daisy in a hat. You know, like it's not. I want to say this one isn't fine. You know, like those are skins. Give me skins and give me more racers. You know, more actual racers.
It's great because it's like it combines your complaint and my complaint. You know, like I'm so glad that King Boo is in the game. Hooray for King Boo! I love King Boo. But you know what, Tegan, I'm right on board with saying fuck aristocratic King Boo. He's just a pimp. He's just a fucking pimp. Look at him, like he's
fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. You know,
got the fur coat on and the hat.
Like it would have been. I think it would have been cooler to have to do a Toad and then Captain Toad, who is not Toad. Like those are different people. Right. And Captain Toad should be a heavy racer, where Toad is a light racer, because Captain Toad's got all that shit in his book bag.
Right, but that would require Nintendo to commit to a continuity of characters, and they hate doing that so much.
You're right. But also, Isabelle should be there. Isabelle was in the last one. Why isn't Isabelle there? Add some more racers. Link's in there. That's fine. No other Zelda character, frankly, needs to be in there. I'm cool with just Link. But I would like to see, Tom Nook as a little racer, and maybe Timmy and Tommy as a duo race team. That could be fun.
Oh man, there are some characters who
Shy Guy getting to race would be cool. I don't remember if he's actually in the race already, but Shy Guy would be fun. Okay.
So here are some characters who there are only one iteration of, meaning they have no alternate costumes that we know of. Nabbit, I guess fine, whatever, fuck it. The Wiggler from Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I feel like Wiggler from Super Mario World is fine as long as the cart elongates and they're not just a really tall guy in a car.
It sure looks like he's going to be a tall guy in a car.
No, I want him to be a long guy in a car.
It also looks like the Wiggler, which is present in the game, is for some reason been given gloved hands, which is not consistent with previous Wiggler presentations. And it's look, if you're going to have various critters driving cars. In the look, Shy Guy has two different variations. Taken. There's Shy Guy and slope styling Shy Guy who's a skier. Hate it.
That's a skin for Shy Guy.
I agree.
Whatever.
Right. Why does Bowser Jr. have a divorced dad outfit?
Because Bowser Jr. was dressed by his divorced dad.
Okay,
that's what happens. That's not his fault.
Okay.
You know?
Fair. Yeah. Well, things are tough at home, Bowser Jr. Actually, we know that because of the open world Mario game. Things are tough at home, Bowser Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Stay strong, little guy.
I believe in you.
But various I'm looking at the historical precedent of like drivers that don't have hands, and I think that's where I'm at with like Wiggler. Is it like how many drivers have we previously had before that don't really have hands?
I mean, Boo doesn't really have hands.
But you know what? I'll also accept that he's
got those. He's got those little pointy things. That's not a hand.
Yeah, but he's
you know.
He's
a ghost. Well, yeah, and Wiggler's a bug. Bugs got the little grippies on their footers. You know? That's fine.
Then put him in a vehicle that uses the grippers.
Yeah, he got little grippy footers. He just puts his little grippy footers on top of the steering wheel.
Like, if you gave him a vehicle with a very long steering wheel so that way he can just, like, lean on that shit, I'd be, okay. Like, if you make it work in a way where you're just like, yeah, okay.
If he's got a couple of, like, segments that have feet on them that are sticking up out of the car and that only the segments that are near the steering wheel are touching the car steering wheel, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But I want those other legs whipping in the wind. I want it to be so goofy. You know?
Right.
It's not going to be. That's fine. But, like, it's fine. Like, the Mario Kart thing, like, Mario Kart isn't for me. So, like, I'm so happy that people are going to have fun with their new Mario Kart. Good luck. You know?
Like
I hope they give you so many cool guys.
How does Goomba drive?
I don't know, man.
He grabs the steering wheel with his mouth.
Sometimes like that.
Okay, Hammer Bro, fine. I'm with it. You know, there are hands there.
Sure.
There are feet there. Dry Bones, okay, great. Fine. But I even start to have questions with fucking Cow from the previous Mario Kart games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, there are the right number of appendages, but Cow is not shaped right for car.
I mean, arguably, neither is Bowser, you know?
Yeah. But,
all that shell, you know? He's sitting way too close to the airbags.
Yeah, but you know what? In previous iterations, like, where they would be like, okay, like, here's your racer. You would, like, when you would pick one of the heavy racers, you would see how, like, oversized your dude was and, like, how cramped he was into the cart, like, which doesn't really seem to be a priority with, like, the new design where they're like, check out all of these very different vehicles, and, like, only one of them is a cart. And
I have a different problem with character design in Nintendo this go around, and it has to do with Donkey Kong. Which, like, they teased his new design in the Mario Kart stuff, and then they showed it in the new Donkey Kong game. And my problem is, why does he look wet? Why does his fur look wet? Also, why is his fur so flat and so, like, each tuft shaped like banana? Like, that just feels bad to me. I thought Donkey Kong was supposed to be, like, fluffy, you know? Not, like, wet.
Pretty fluffy in the new game.
The penguin from Mario 64.
The new game, he doesn't look fluffy. He looks wet. He looks damp. I don't mind, like I've seen some people complain about the new face, and that's not the problem I'm having. The problem I'm having is, like, he looked soft and fluffy in, like, Smash and stuff, and now he just looks like he's been doused in water. Maybe the humidity is finally getting to him on Kong Island, you know, but it doesn't look like he's covered in hair.
You know, like, here's the thing. Like, I was winding my way toward Donkey Kong with my observations, but, like,
now just jump right in there.
Yeah, like, we're here, and I'll say this about, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza, is that of, like, all the stuff that Nintendo showed, which is like, look at our Nintendo-ass Nintendo stuff. The thing that I was, like, most interested in was Donkey Kong Bonanza. I was like very intrigued by the idea of a fully destructible environment with no limitations or no prohibitions on like what can be destroyed. Like, so they kept on showing like Donkey Kong like tearing up parts of the environment. I was like, man, that's fucking cool. Like, I really this is going to unlock new vectors of gameplay, and like it's interesting to see like how like a fully destructible environment like interacts with like the platforming game experience. And I really loved like the look of it. Like again, I guess probably like aside from Donkey Kong, but like all of those like beautiful bright purples and bright greens. And I think that for the most part, the thing that I liked most was it didn't feel like it was just chasing the aesthetic of Donkey Kong Country, which is what's been going on with Donkey Kong since Donkey Kong Country 1. Just like, hey, look, it just looks like Donkey Kong Country. And this, like, it looked different, but you know what? Like, I guess it comes back to, like, does it look like it's worth something that I want to spend an entry fee of $520 on best case scenario? Because I gotta buy a machine and then buy a Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong is a $70 video game, and I have to buy the console. And I'm just reminded of this cartoon I sent Rocky and Tegan earlier this week, where like Mario and a dude are sitting there, and Mario's like, "Come with me to my world of fun and fantasy and adventure." And the guy's like, "Okay, Mario," and he's like, "Give me $100." The guy's like, "No, Mario."
No, Mario.
Yeah, just, and I don't feel like I can, like, with the way things are.
Mm-hmm.
I feel much more comfortable like waiting until there are multiple games I would want for this box.
Sure.
Before I buy one of these boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with waiting to see what it does. Like, I waited on the Wii U,
Yep.
But like, I don't know. It seems fine. Honestly, the $450 seemed like the right price to me, but with the tariffs that are gonna be coming, I don't know. I don't know how much more I'd be willing to spend on the box. Like the box is gonna play my Switch games, so like, but
yeah.
So far they haven't shown anything that I'm like, I have to have it, and it only comes on the Switch. Or the Switch 2,
Yeah, it feels to me like the base price is $50 above what I think is the right price. And there has been some conversation around like, okay, well, what would be the price of the Switch 1 today at launch, accounting for inflation?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is $400. And so I
mean,
think
the Switch OLED is $350.
Yeah.
So like having the next gen system be $100 more than that is like okay to me.
But
like, that's
But then asking people to go back to an LCD screen after an OLED screen feels weird.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I will not notice a difference. I will not notice a difference. I don't notice it. Like, graphical stuff is really hit or miss on whether or not I can tell a difference. The only difference I notice with my OLED screen is like the colors look kind of different.
The biggest difference that you should be able to see is that with the OLED screen, it can render like a truer black, which means that like you should get a greater range of colors, which means that like the blacks look blacker and like dark colors will seem truer, because there isn't like this like background consistently lit pixel. The colors look a little different.
That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you why they're different. I can just tell you they're different, But, like, I don't notice any other differences. So, like, new Switch, I'll just be like, looks the same to me. Shrug. They're like they're like, oh, it's gonna be like 60 frames per second and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, will it? Is the regular Switch not? I don't know. Like that kind of stuff. I'm just, who cares,
Sure.
But like everything I want is coming out. Like they did the last Switch Direct before, and like everything I want is coming out there. I'm gonna get Tomodachi Life. I'm gonna get the Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar remake. Like, so I'm gonna be fine. Yep. And also, like Rocky said, I have 1,000 games to play elsewhere. So it's not the end of the world. Waiting is gonna be fine for me. We'll see what the new price is after tariffs and taxes and everything else. Whether or not I'll ever get a Switch too, because
it is amazing to watch so many basement-dwelling video gamers suddenly discover economics for the first time.
People are learning so quickly. It's crazy. The anime community also learning very quickly because of import merch prices. Like how tariffs work. It's wild to watch in real time.
Like, oh no, my sleazy good smile action figures are now 150% more than they were before.
I mean, it's not just like the regular Good Smile ones. It's like even the cheap ones, like even the pop-up parades, which look great, but were only $20 to $30. Excellent entry point for the casual collector of something that looks way better than anything you would get in America. And it's gonna be like a $60 to $70 figure now, which normally you would get like a 1/7 scale figure in a superb sculpt for. Now those are going to be several $100s, My Goddess Hatsune Miku figure, I might have to cancel because it was going to be $200 when it came out this December. And I pre-ordered it last year. But like now, I don't know how much it's going to be, and I'm not going to be able to spend $400 on that thing, It's wild.
And it is amazing to see how many people are saying with their full chest, why don't these companies just set up factories in America? And I'm just like, okay, all right. Let's for just a second entertain your idiocy and tell me where you're going to find the labor to staff this factory to produce this magical device at the price that you would have gotten when it was like coming from Vietnam. There literally is no such thing as the labor to produce the device at the market price that they want in the United States. Because even at minimum wage, people cost so much that device imported from Vietnam price is not possible. And also, specifically with stuff like the Nintendo Switch and cell phones,
all those component parts are made abroad anyway. So even if it's assembled in the U.S., you're still going to be paying those import fees and tariffs on it.
And there are literally components in those devices which cannot be sourced naturally in the United States. There are no great resources for rare earth minerals in the U.S. And I am now fully convinced that this is part of the reason that Trump has been so obsessed with Greenland, because one of the things Greenland has going for it is its repository of rare earth minerals. I'm like, I just have to wonder, holy shit, are we literally, within the next few months going to just fucking invade Greenland? It feels like more and more of a possibility every day. And I'm like, I can't believe that thinking about the Nintendo Switch 2 has me pondering questions like, will we invade Greenland so that way we can, manufacture cell phone parts? Jesus, so dumb. So dumb. Future is stupid. Companies, please do not adopt "the future is stupid" as your slogan.
I mean, it sounds like a Futurama plot, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Any either of y'all got more thoughts on the Nintendo?
I hope people have a very fun Nintendo. I won't be there.
I'm not gonna be there for a long time. I might skip this one. I don't know.
I think probably one of the best descriptions I saw of the news was like somebody said that when they are looking to buy a device from Nintendo, the way that they evaluate the price of it is, would I hand something that cost X amount of dollars to my kid?
Mm-hmm.
And if the price is it's too expensive to hand to my kid,
right,
then they don't buy it from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, I have to imagine that probably looks like, multiple people's like smell test for that, because Nintendo still does have this like very broad association for like being for kids.
I mean, given the things that they decided to show during like the Switch 2 Direct, I think they're aware. Like they had Hitman as like an early like launch month title, and like they showed Dust Bloods in the first thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they're as interested into selling to kids as they were before.
Yeah, and this is all giving me GameCube flashbacks.
Sure.
I'm like, remember the last time you tried this, Nintendo? How'd that work out? But admittedly, some pretty significant things are different in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the like great rush to handheld, like Nintendo definitely has a leg up in that space, and revisions in like the Switch architecture are designed to like keep that leg up.
I don't know, man. Like the way I see it, like there isn't a single like company that controls the handheld gaming space in any meaningful way that can compete with cell phones.
Yep. Man, Rocky, that's my line.
GG's.
Yeah, like it's. I will say this, and I think I said this in chat earlier this week, that watching the Nintendo Direct makes me very, very eager for Microsoft to stop pussyfooting around and go ahead and do their introductory presentation for like the new mobile Xbox, which they have admitted exists. Like they've said the thing exists on earnings call, so they told the shareholders this thing is real.
Mm-hmm.
So just let us go ahead and see the handheld Xbox.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it feels like the Xbox is going to be the most economical gaming choice. An Xbox with Game Pass, like, you've so many games available, so many long form games too. Like, I don't know. I think this is going to be a flap for Nintendo, and I hope they learn and recover. Also, I hope fucking the Pokemon Company gets their shit together with their Pokemon games, because ZA looks like trash. It's ugly. The Pokemon look great, and every single environment looks horrible.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, I don't know how due we are for the PS6 or whatever, but like that's supposed to be like if there's like if we're going off of like 5-6 year console cycles, like they're kind of due, and there's going to be a new mobile Xbox, but like I don't know, man. Like they seem to be very interested in getting out of the mobile, or not the mobile, out of the console business period. And so like whatever this mobile Xbox turns out to be, it seems like it'll just be some sort of low cost device that you can use as a Game Pass machine. And I think that's fine.
Apparently, the only thing that they have been willing to say on the earnings call about the device is that it will be available as 2 different SKUs.
Sure.
And that one SKU is the Xbox operating system, which is just reskinned Windows 11, but doesn't allow you to have access to all of the Windows features. So you can either get the thing with Xbox operating system, or the handheld Xbox is available as a Windows device, which definitely points to like what you're talking about, Rocky, which is they just don't like being in the console business anymore. Right. But they recognize that they need to be in the handheld gaming space, and so that kind of like lets them have their cake and eat it too. I'm assuming that like if there will be a Windows SKU available, that there will be stuff like a dock, because like they recognize that like the Steam Deck was Valve trying to find a way to like meaningfully, cut into like Microsoft's market share by finding a way to finally make people go for Linux. Like I think it was the biggest thing the Steam Deck did was like,
right?
Shit, man, we can't just get people to adopt Linux like organically. What if we found a way to just like make them into it by making them buy a console and just be like, yeah, it's a console, we swear.
Well, they were
this has nothing to do about getting you outside of Windows. But yeah, like it's as we have said before, like what's weird is that like now, it's Microsoft, Valve, and Nintendo locked into a battle for platforms where it's like, fundamentally the hardware is not that important. They want you in their store ecosystem, and like they recognize that like handheld form factor is like a really important part of that, which just kind of like makes Sony just seem goofy and dumb. Because God, that PS Portal, Jesus Christ!
I mean, they're playing a different game, and the people that love them, and they're gonna keep paying for what they're selling. So like, I'm not interested in getting in their way. I think but they don't need my business, and I don't need them. It's just what it is.
I just think that they're going to find a lot less people willing to buy those like third-party dad adventure games when those games cost $90.
True. Yeah. But like GTA 6 is coming out soon, and like people will buy a whole console for that.
I really look forward to finding out whether or not GTA 6 is going to be on Switch.
I just want to know whether or not it's actually going to be $100. I think it should be, but I want to see the aftermath of that. Really. Yeah,
like I think that if anybody like breaks the $100, I think that they will be the game that will break the $100 barrier. Like also, you know what? Something I haven't said while we're recording, and I should say now is like anybody right now who just thinks that this tariff thing is about Nintendo in the realm of gaming, you're
super wrong. Yeah, super wrong. And GameSpot is already running articles on it.
Yeah. They'll catch up. It's going to take some time, It's just what it is.
People
are first of all just being introduced to tariffs. Second of all, like are seeing for the first time how it is directly affecting something in real time. So like give them a couple weeks,
Fair enough.
When we're learning things. Not everyone has to be a tariff expert.
True. We used to jump economists where I'm from.
Oh, is this a podcast? Have we podcasted?
Yeah, that's fine.
Rocky, take us on.
Hey, everybody. This has been an episode of Impossible Coin. Thanks for hanging out. You can find it where our podcasts are found, but you probably already knew that. And we're on social media. Most of them is just Impossible Coin. No underscores or dashes or anything weird like that. We are no longer on the social media formerly known as Twitter, and we are not on SoundCloud. Personally, fuck SoundCloud. But the music at the beginning and end of this show was produced by our kid brother, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Sach. And he's on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Big Sach NJ. But also, his band has a Bandcamp page, which is betweenrooms.bandcamp.com. Our logo was designed by Laura Moran. You can find her on social media and on Patreon at Laura Moran. She does really good stuff. It's crazy that we got the logo, but you know what? We're just gonna run with it. That is the gift that keeps on giving. We also stream a few times a week. I wasn't streaming last week because I was in some horrible tooth pain, but now I'm not, and so I should be back next week. And Tiggs is also streaming, and I know I'm going to play a new game, Blueprints, on Thursday, and I will probably stream it. And so that might be a big stream. But actually, I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now. This is in the past. This will already have happened by the time you hear it, maybe. But if not, if I actually get this done by Wednesday, then it'll happen tomorrow, and you'll just see us on stream. And
Future of tomorrow is yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one. There it is. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing Blueprints, which is a very good looking video game. It might be one of the greats. Honestly, it's a soft pick for game of the year for me in 2025. Not gonna lie. And there's also going to be a different showcase, which is the Triple I showcase, which is happening that afternoon, which is appears to be like a direct response to the way the Game Awards has been doing world premieres. They are billed themselves to be a 45-minute presentation with about 36 games that they have queued up. No ads, no shenanigans, just previews. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Anyhow, we're Impossible Coin, and that's all right with me. But this is us. That's the show.
Peace.